The hope and goal is to turn nothing into something, get everything we deserve. Pray that we...
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of It's Whatever with the Bishop. Magic Moments with the Mosley present. I am your host, Bishop Bang. I got my co-host with me, Funny Man Jeff.
Yeah.
And we got our brother KC in the building.
Yo, ain't no bang anyway,
you know what I mean? Repeat offender.
Absolutely.
What's going on? This is the final podcast of the year. Season 1, we wrapping up. We wrapping it up the same way we came in.
Wrap that shit.
Yeah, we started our first video recording right here with my brothers, and we gonna end it this way, and we gonna see more of us this year, tackling topics coming up in the new year. But this is our last final podcast for the final year. Yeah, so how was we just got done celebrating Christmas. For those that celebrate, those that don't, whatever meanings it mean to you. What's going on? How was the weekend? How was everything?
It was great. It was about the wife and the kids. You know, I'm 32 now, so it's like, I ain't gonna say I don't look forward to it, but my main mission now is like, I gotta make sure they got smiles. Now, my mom and dad, they still look out for me like I'm a kid, so that's guaranteed. You know what I mean? But my main goal was making sure
spoil you grown up.
A little bit. A lot of it.
Yeah.
For Christmas.
Okay.
All around the board. My dad makes sure we good.
What's going on with you?
Oh man, everything was good.
It was good?
Yeah. I'm excited, man. My kids getting older.
Yeah, I seen that grown man.
That grown man.
I said, look at him back there.
How old is
he? Like a grown. I was like, man, I remember when I first met him, they was small.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
How old your kids?
And he gonna have that height.
My son will be 14 in February,
Whew.
and my daughter's 10.
Yeah, and that's what it was. He was standing taller than the wife. I'm like,
That's a fact.
bro, I'm gonna have to start checking it.
That's how my oldest son, he's 13. He's almost my height.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not the tallest guy around, but still.
Right.
Yeah, but they getting older, so
Yeah.
I spend less money now.
Okay,
Yeah.
Yo, it was easy.
It was easy.
Not going to get the little things. I'm not forcing her to grow up because that's my baby. But Brene, she'd be turning 9. But the stuff she asked for was like simple. So it was easy.
That helps.
Yeah, so it was easy to shop and get everything out the way. My 13-year-old. So yeah, I spent less money. It was good. It was cool. Everybody enjoyed it.
Good living.
Yeah. So what we got today, fellas?
Bro hit us with the topic recently of being able to agree to disagree.
And what does it mean? And I like the summary that you gave me. That's why I asked you here to talk about that, because I am one. I understood that it resonated with me, because I let you go into the. You want to explain?
No. I want both.
Yes.
I want both of you to kind of give me what your idea of it is, and then I'll weigh in, and then we'll see how we mesh.
All right. So when you brought agreeing to disagree, and you were saying how, and I never thought about it that way, because I am one to agree to disagree just to end the conversation, even though we didn't have a resolution to it.
It's a polite way of saying let's just shut the fuck up.
Yeah. So when you said that to me, I was like, that's me.
That's the polite way. That's polite as hell.
And I didn't never think about the fact that, because I had mentioned it to the wife, and she said some things, because I said, well, you can just brush it off and not worry about it, because it was that conversation, and move forward. But then she said there's some things that the other person might want you to understand, and they might not want to move forward from it, so it's still lingering around. Whatever, and mostly when it comes, like you, and I like what you said, because you said it leaves two people, especially if you care about that person, you don't want to leave it on bad terms,
Unresolved.
Yeah, like what they're saying doesn't matter.
because I don't want to be the person that you always coming to agree to a disagree, because you just don't want to. I don't want to be that guy.
See, now listen. Now let's just dive into this. Can it be separated from opinion and fact? Because facts are facts. If you're fucking wrong, you're wrong. We ain't disagreeing about nothing. Like, we can Google this in 20 seconds. Right. But if that's your opinion or your feeling on something, is that where we agree to disagree on feelings?
See, and
did I just complicate this? But
that makes sense, because
the facts are a fact.
Right, especially if you use it from, like especially with feelings, and we're gonna put that in terms with your wife.
Or morals, feelings.
It turns, and I don't want to be the person that you just gonna agree with me, but you don't feel me, and you don't even.
Like whooping the kid's ass and not, you know what I mean? Like some people can get into a heated debate about that, but it's like some people's beliefs in that are there.
Because where it originated from. So I don't
hit my kids. I be wanting to. I will threaten them, but I never spank.
I don't hit them. No. Yeah, I've been stopped a while ago when I realized.
I feel like there's a time or two I probably should have, but
yeah. So
I will break my kids down.
see, my two, they live with their mom. I'm still go through the whole you know what I mean? That like their mom, like I feel like it's fucked up. I feel like I'm crossing the boundary if I hit my own kids. Then my stepson, he ain't mine, so I can discipline him. But if I pop him one, I don't give a shit. My wife might get tight about that.
I should be able to communicate with you and get you to understand where I'm coming from.
That's a fact.
Understand my position.
I'm learning that.
Because in my position, there's nothing you can say back to me.
But here's the thing, though. You have to build a rapport with your kids. Right? It has to have a foundation.
Right.
Because kids are initially set up to test the waters.
Yeah. Okay.
So if you tell a kid not to do something, the first thing they want to do, matter of fact, if you tell anybody not to do something, the first thing they want to do is do it.
Yeah.
It's just us as humans.
Yes, I'm the type. I'm told I can't do something, or it's not. I'm gonna try. I gotta try.
That's the first thing you want to do. That's the first thing you want to do.
What does that button do?
Yeah.
That's a fact. So I'm not saying beat your kids for everything all the time.
No.
But I think they have to understand that at the end of the day, there's only so much talking to you're going to get, especially for repeat offenders. So my son, right, and he's not going to see this anytime soon, right? So I'm going to put his business down in front. He's 13, so I know he's not listening. When he's a straight A student.
Okay.
Has been all his life.
Come sit down with my oldest.
Last year was a rough year, right? Like he's going to a new school, you know what I'm saying? They call him a nigga. The school, thank God, they didn't put his hands on him, so it's alright.
No.
He's going through a lot, right? And it affected him to the point where he got lost. And for the first time in his life, he started getting C's and D's. And I don't like putting my hands on my kids. It makes me sad. Right? So I didn't. And I threatened him all year. Like, oh, I'm going to mess you up. Keep playing with me. What's wrong? But I felt that he was going through something. And he was just transitioning. It was a real messed up spot.
So, where did he go from? Did y'all move from the inner city to the suburbs? Is that what happened?
You know I'm not from here, right? So whenever anytime somebody say, "Oh, what school district? What school?" and I'd be like, "Bro, listen, man. He goes, I don't know, but I told you, and you know, what school was it?"
He was out that's Central Dauphin. He was out there at Lansdowne Junior High.
But where'd he come from?
Nutty, right? He came from, where was he going before?
He was elementary though.
See, my son went from Roland to East, so I think the racial thing he didn't really bother him, but the scholastic academic. My son was bringing home D's.
Yeah, it's a joke.
I don't think he might have brought home like an F or two. Yeah. And I wanted to trash him, but then I had to calm down. Like, yo, this is a full blown transition. Different style of middle school, different style of work. Now here we are, new school year. He's doing much better, and he ended last school year pretty good. But
not my kid. like I'm telling you,
first market period, I wanted to run his head through the wall.
His whole life, he's been nothing but like when we was in Harrisburg School District. They're like, oh no, he need to be at least 2 grades up higher. We want to push him. No, you're not doing that. My son is not going to be the smallest person in the room, the youngest person in the room. He is not going to be big.
Yeah, because maturity-wise, yeah.
That's a fact. Right. So now that he was out there in a messed up situation, it affected him. We got through that year. It was a bad year.
Yeah.
Just all the way around.
Yeah.
So this school year, I told him, I said, son, we back. We back now. He goes up there by, like you're headed towards Union Deposit.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What's that joint on the left? Like if you headed towards Gabe's.
Yeah, that's Susquehanna Middle School.
So he's at Susquehanna Middle.
Okay.
Right? So I'm like, yo, you back, baby. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of black friends. You know what I'm saying? Like none of this
diversity now.
We don't have them same excuses. So this year we back. Yo, first week. Miss homework assignment. Something small.
Yeah, my son does it. Don't put his name on shit. Have it sit in his folder completed.
Broke his neck, son. Broke his neck.
I feel
son.
you.
That's a fact. Broke his neck. And he was looking at me like, oh, this over a Miss homework assignment?
Yeah.
We setting the tone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is 8th grade, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So setting the tone.
Now you feeling a little bit at home.
Setting the tone. Yeah, we got to get back.
Yeah.
Straight A's. Report card came back. He just got a certificate, high honor roll.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
The second joint about to drop, straight A's.
Yeah.
So we back at it, and that's what. And I took the long way, but I can't. Yo, every once in a while, you have to show that you are the dominant one. And sometimes, talking just ain't it.
Right.
Because you'll talk so much, they'll take your kindness for weakness.
Yeah, they know. Okay, yeah.
Oh, they're just gonna talk. Like I can deal with talking.
Yeah, he going to yell and scream,
Bro.
say some fly shit, and I'm cool.
Yeah, because BB got me figured out. She be like, he just.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
Yeah, she gets me.
But see, my wife though, shit jump on him, so it's like I've had to save his ass.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, that's enough. That's enough.
That's why they kill him.
Yo, but I need to agree to disagree, man. We need to hear from you.
Okay, so it was bugged out.
All right, yeah. What originated?
So can you agree to disagree about him breaking his son's neck?
Hey, I agree. When he said what he needed to do, and the results were on the table.
Yeah.
I can't. It worked. So
Stir the rod, spoil the child. That's
So
what
my dad used to say it and fire my ass. Remember that word? I'll fire you.
Yeah, so as far as agree to disagree, from the gate, everyone cannot agree to disagree
okay.
because it takes a certain level of maturity
Okay.
and a certain level of humility to agree to disagree. So, if you cannot properly agree to disagree, then that off the gate should show you where you at with you.
Okay.
Because, like you said, happened to me too. People agree to disagree just to shut up the conversation.
Right.
And they'll walk away, oh, I can't believe she feel that way. Oh,
Right.
I can't believe he feel that way.
Right.
They gotta be crazy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And sometimes what that do is that put up a roadblock on your road to success as a couple, as a marriage.
Okay.
So we don't need those.
Right.
So me saying let's agree to disagree means that we don't have to see through the same lens at the moment.
Okay.
That's the disagree. We disagree. There's no question on
Right.
it. I'm sorry, I just ate.
It's okay.
The agreement part is that we understand we both don't see through the same lens currently.
Okay.
We both understand and acknowledge that we're not going to allow what we don't agree on currently to set a roadblock from where we're going. The big picture is still the same. We're still headed in the same direction. We're on the same team. Let's not let this here
Right.
hinder our progress moving forward. That's the whole agreeing to disagree.
Okay.
Now, there's still levels to that.
Yeah.
There's two different levels, in fact. The first level of agreeing to disagree is that what we're disagreeing about is so minute and it doesn't really matter. In the grand scheme of things, we don't ever have to come back to it.
Right.
I feel how I feel, you feel how you feel, but it's never going to affect us.
Right.
Because it's not something we have to deal with on a daily or, regular basis.
On that scale.
On that scale.
Okay.
But then there's things, discipline children, finances, different things like that.
Attitudes. Yeah,
The way we listen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Listen,
Yeah.
like I come on here and I'm gonna keep it a buck. Because I'm all for the truth, even if the truth makes me guilty.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I come in here.
I like that. Even if the truth makes me
Listen,
guilty.
they hate on me, right? Because I'm a LeBron James fan. I'm not a Lakers fan, not a Cleveland fan, not a Miami fan. I'm a LeBron James.
I was like that with Shaq growing up.
What?
Shaq just started jumping too many teams. I'm like, fuck it.
I think it's because of the superiority.
I don't know.
That's what it is. Because you're. That's what I like about you. You're a superior guy. You're stern in what you believe. You're stern in what you set. So I'm a LeBron fan. I move with people that have confidence in who they are and what they do.
That's a fact.
And their integrity's intact. So that's the things that stick out that make people like. Yeah. So.
But the problem in the sports world is that people, most of the time, can't be. They're biased.
Right.
They can't be objective.
Right.
I'm completely the opposite. I love LeBron. That's my man.
Right.
But I'll be the first one to tell you the flaw. Right? I'll be the first one to tell you, nah, he ain't got the Kobe mentality.
Right.
He ain't a killer like Jordan.
Right.
People don't get that. Like, oh, but we, all right,
Right,
we're getting off the subject, right? So the first one is, we'll never come back to this again. So there's nothing we need to talk about. We don't have to come
Give us
back.
an example of what would be something that is minute that you can agree to disagree on that you don't got to come back to. You got an example?
That is such a.
I think it has to be something with a homie. Something with a. Because with your wife, man, your partner, certain things you might come back to this. Like, you never know.
It's gonna keep showing its face.
Maybe. It just. I don't know.
And
yeah, you go ahead, because.
But no, but
unless you got something off the.
No, but here's the thing, though, right? Because what I might say may not be the case for you guys. Marriage is not a monolith. So what me and my wife might find small and minute,
right,
may not be with your wife, and your wife finds small and minute. That might be something you have to stick a pin in and come back.
Right.
So I can say, oh, just for the sake of saying things, oh, I don't like the way you interact with my family. Cool. I ain't gotta be around your family. Ever. That's a fact.
I know, right? But you gonna have to though. No?
Why?
Because that's her family.
My wife and I just had Christmas
She's
dinner with
my family.
Right. She is your family, but it's easy. But what happens if she don't feel comfortable with that?
If she don't feel comfortable with me,
but you just not want to interact with her family.
See, that's where we come in.
Okay.
With a.
But what you tell her? You can go. I don't gotta go.
That's a fact.
That is the most uncomfortable shit. Because my wife used to do that, and I felt like, and she would see me. I'm not keeping you from your family, your kids. You can go. But it's like, oh, if I do, I just know, like, I'm catching something. Like,
something coming.
It might be an attitude, it might be a cold shoulder, you might not track it with the booty. Like, something's coming.
Okay, so
you might text me some fly shit while I'm gone.
I said that, right? But I said it without giving context.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why they're probably looking at me funny.
Yeah,
and they're probably looking at me funny.
No, I'm currently going to that. Like Christmas dinner, we went back to my brother's house to try to mend my family, because I stayed away from them for a whole year because of things that transpired between me, them, my wife, and them. You know what I mean? For a whole year, I stayed away. Thank God Christmas dinner went great. Shout out to my brother and my family today.
I believe in ghosting people.
Oh, I would do it. He didn't teach me this. He let me know it was okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
That's a fact. I don't care who you are.
I'm protecting my energy. That was my line to my dad and my grandmother and whoever else. I'm protecting my energy.
In order for me to be the best person I can be,
right,
I have to sometimes separate myself from unnecessary drama.
Right.
Right? Or unnecessary energy. It don't have to be drama.
Right. Yeah, it's the energy.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I have to. I have to protect me, and I have to protect my family.
Yeah.
Right.
So, let me lay the context.
Good.
Right? So, me and my wife got together. I was 19 years old. She was 20. I was wild. Right? I said a lot of things I probably shouldn't have. Well, I ain't going to even say probably. I said a lot of things I know for a fact I shouldn't have said. Right? And I was immature. I handled things funny. I was 19. I didn't know how to deal with finances. I didn't know how to deal with this and that and all of the above. I've never been a married man.
Right.
I've never been a dad. I became a dad and a husband within a month of each other.
Damn. At 19.
That's a fact, right? So, of course, I did a lot of messed up things. Never cheated on my wife, nothing stupid like that. But as far as childish, immature things, I did a lot of them.
Okay.
Family caught wind of some of the things, right? And from that point forward, they decided to judge me on who I was then.
Okay.
The problem with that is that I continue to get judged now based on who I was then.
Okay.
Because the growth is not recognized.
For them, that means, yeah.
That's a fact.
Right, right.
So the growth is not recognized. The maturity is not recognized.
Right.
The success that not only have we had as a family, as a marriage, but me as a father,
Right.
has not been recognized. I'm still getting looked at the lens of who I was at 19.
Yeah, because y'all got how many years in?
14 to be coming up.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So that's my point.
Right.
I'm not going to waste my energy,
Right.
time,
Okay.
emotions.
Okay.
Why your family don't like me?
Right.
Why they keep doing this?
Yeah.
I'm not doing
Yeah,
it.
I wouldn't even care. Now I understand, yeah. I
What?
got you.
So,
Yeah.
so it got to the point where she was like, you know what? You right.
Yeah, because she recognized it. Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, listen, man. If they ain't rocking with you, they ain't rocking with me.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, cool. Now we on the same board.
Right.
But then I got to the point where I had to say, hun, listen. That's cool for us, right? We ride or die. But the kids is missing out on so much
Right.
by not being able to interact with their family.
Right.
So it's not only affecting me, which affects you, but now it's affecting.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's time for you to start going back to family functions. It's time for you to start showing your face. Because they still love you.
Right, right.
They never stop.
Right.
It was just a misunderstanding with us.
Yeah. Where's your husband? Oh, he's golfing.
Listen,
Yeah.
that's even if they ask.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
okay,
saying?
right.
I don't even think they care to ask.
Right.
And I don't care that they care to ask.
Right.
You know what I'm
I got
saying?
you.
But that's why I use that as an example.
Okay.
Because that's not really a big
Okay.
thing for me and my
Yeah.
wife. So, and she probably going to be like, boy, but it is what it is, right?
Yeah.
But, yeah, some things you don't have to put a pin in because it's not even worth coming back.
Okay.
And not to say, if her family is listening, that I won't have a change of mind. I'm always willing to be involved if I'm requested.
Right.
Right. If
Right.
I'm invited, I'm always willing to be involved. I'm just not breaking my neck.
Right.
So, second point, some things have to have a pin in it because it's important in order for you to progress forward. Some things are life and death
Okay.
as far as marriage. And some things it's better to deal with it as a lizard because you don't want it coming back as a dragon.
Okay, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So some things you gotta attack it small before it's big enough to do damage. Right? So if I punch you in your arm, you might be like, oh, you hit like a girl, son.
Right.
But if I keep hitting that same spot over the period of time, you get more sensitive, the nerves in that joint start tingling. It's like, now,
This shit throbbing.
you lift up 20 pounds, she's like, man, I can do this all day. Let me see you after 100 reps. What you looking like with the same amount of weight. So I'm saying certain things you do have to put a pin in because if you keep going on without actually being resolved, it can cause major, major damage. And you may not be able to get to the promised land or to the big picture
Right.
because of unresolved issues. So that's my take on it.
Yeah, and that's why I said I'm guilty of it.
We all are.
I am guilty of not going in the waters where I can't swim. If it's something that makes me uncomfortable to talk about,
Shut down.
Yeah. Because it's not, and trust me, it's not that I'm scared of exposing, especially with my wife, exposing my hand of not being, I just don't, if I feel it ain't going to go well. Because I be set. It's hard. And that's something I feel I got to work on as an individual. I can't work on it with you. But if I say I'm working on something, I'm working on it. I can't work on it at your speed because that's hard for me. You hear people that be like, oh yeah, I'm working on it. Nah, I really got to work on it. But if it's hard for me, it's not going to just happen overnight. So a lot of that, when you come into that agreeing to disagree, I feel with like us, if it's not life or death, you know, I always say, if you search for the truth and that person's right, it's going to come. But I would at least say, bro, you know what? You was right. I seen it. It might come in a conversation from someone else. The truth, I always say, shows up.
I'm a big fan of I told you so's.
Oh, you like I told you?
You say that to people?
Huge fan.
I'll do that to anybody but my wife.
No. See, and that's where I'm different. And see, that's why my wife look at me like a weirdo. Cause just like, yo.
That's why I think I love
You say stuff like that.
Or if I do that to my wife, I have to say it in like the most chill voice. See, babe, I tried to tell you. I'll hit you with the bam, bitch.
I'm a huge component, and I told you so. And the reason why that is because when you, and let me preface that.
Right.
I'm a huge component, and I told you so's for a season, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to live the rest of your life with somebody who always, I told you so. But the reason why I'm an advocate for that for a season is because when you harness it correctly, I told you so's can build humility. I told you so's can build maturity. Right? Because it takes a humble person to accept the fact that they were wrong. It takes an even more humble person to accept the fact of somebody else pointing out that they were wrong, and they were advised earlier that they were notified of them being wrong, right? Before they made the mistake, before they did whatever they did or said whatever they said. So for a season, I believe I told you so is perfect.
Because I need you to trust me. Like what I'm saying out of my mouth, I may not always be right, but if I'm going to spew this out, I did enough research to know I'm right. Why you always got to go against what I'm saying?
Yeah, and not even
just factual type right, not like fuck your feelings type right.
Like, but not even just that. Just being able to receive that I was wrong and you was right is hard in a marriage. And I hate to single out non-married people, but you guys don't count, right?
Right.
Because you can decide tomorrow you don't want to be together.
Take it and apply it where you can.
Right. But for marriages, it's hard. Like it was for me. I don't know if it was you. Like she'd be like, listen, you mad? Like she'd be the camera, you know what I'm saying? I'd be like, you know what I mean? It's a fact. It's hard to receive when you're wrong, and then to be proven wrong is even harder. So it definitely builds maturity, and it builds selflessness, right? I think a lot of times marriage don't work. I'd say 100%. I was having this conversation, right? 100% of marriages don't work because people refuse to be selfless.
Okay, yeah.
They refuse to be selfless. It's about me. It's about what I want. If you ain't rocking with how I'm getting busy, then maybe I need to find somebody else.
And can I inject something in there? I like that because I feel because I could feel like that sometimes.
Right.
But only because if you're not giving me nothing, if you're not giving us nothing to follow, what do we have? Someone has to have something. Someone has to have the plan. Someone has to have direction. Because if we're just floating around, what are we doing? You see what I'm saying? So I feel with that, if I have a plan and I have something that we're working towards, because I'm open to giving the opportunity of what do you have for us.
See, here's the thing. And it's the same, and that's why marriage is, marriage was considered an investment. I always consider marriage as an investment.
Right.
I consider kids an investment. Right?
Yeah.
I'm spending 18 years of my life investing in you.
Yeah.
So you can turn around and bring me back a profit.
Right.
That's a fact.
Right. Even with living your life to where it's supposed to be.
Bro, that's a fact. Right. Why do you think foreigners are the #1 graduates in America? That's statistically proven.
Right.
Asians and Africans, the #1 graduates in America. Because their parents invest in them. They give them the game plan.
Right.
This is what you're going to do. No, you don't have a choice.
Right.
You're going to America. You're going to become a doctor.
Right.
And you're going to then invest into your family.
Yeah.
That's a fact. Americans, you can be anything you want to be, baby. Do whatever you want to do. And then they wonder why they're 27 still trying to figure out
what it is that they want to do. Right, yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You done been in college 4 or 5 semesters, switching majors, general ed, right? Instead of no game plan. We all need that.
Yeah.
And I bring that full circle because the same way in the business world, there's bosses and then there's employees. The bosses tell the employees what to do. Without the bosses, the employees wouldn't have no
direction,
no structure, no nothing. Not saying that you or your spouse's boss, but sometimes it's the same setup. Sometimes a person needs somebody to show them.
Gotta lead.
There you go. And I'm not saying that's a male role or a female role. I'm just saying sometimes between the two people, the one person is a great worker. You show them what to do, they get their hands to moving and it gets done.
Right.
But they don't have the foresight.
Right. The vision.
Of the vision to come up with what to do.
Right.
They can apply it, but they have to be shown the vision.
Right.
So don't get distressed because you always got to be the one to come up with the game plan. Especially if you're the one reading.
Right.
Especially if you're the one studying, researching.
Right.
You're the one making the moves. You can't be.
Yeah.
If a person don't invest in their own mind, how they want to bring something to the table for the family?
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's a fact. And I tell my wife all the time, listen, you read these spiritual books and I love it because I read it too. But we got to get on this game plan. You know what I'm saying? What was that I just showed you? The 11-year-old? 48 million, something like that?
Yeah.
Off of YouTube? Playing with toys?
Yeah.
People out here living check to check. You make millions of dollars playing with toys on the camera? You crazy?
I love it.
You crazy?
Kidnapping. It's like, no, I'm just telling
you. That was for my kids.
That's a fact, man. Like, it's so much out here to get it. But people don't have the vision. And then the people who do have the vision don't have the work ethic.
Right.
So you have to bring those two together.
See, that's what I had. That was my thing for this year. Putting the work ethic with the vision. I was always a visionary, but I'd be sitting on my ass. So now I finally got it. So now it's like sky's the limit now. Because I'm glad you said that. I always dreamed big and saw big. Yeah. I didn't want to do shit.
I was getting tired. Never get tired.
I'm always tired. I'm tired now.
I'm tired.
Yeah. But then
it's a good tired.
You're not allowed to be tired.
Hell no.
That's why I got to the point where I not despise dudes, but when you see people that can just run freely, just run.
Can you elaborate on run freely?
Run freely. There's men out there that run freely from responsibility.
They gonna reap what they sow though when they get old though.
I mean, I know life is not carefree because I see the hardship, and I wouldn't want to be in their shoes. But it's I don't know, because you lose out on your kids, taking care of them. They make them, but sometimes I just feel like, man, they got it easy.
All right, so I'm gonna go here.
Go ahead.
I'm going. I might get stoned later. I love my dad, right?
Right.
Me and my dad, we have a relationship, and I love him. But he know I keep it a buck, and we clash a lot because of that. But here's the story. My dad wasn't around growing up, right? He had a million other things he'd rather do than to be a family man, to be a providing father, right? He worked for a couple years, absolutely. But then he got to the point where women was willing to take care of him, and he didn't have to work. And so because he didn't have to work, he didn't have to provide. He had his own time to do what he wanted to do, when he wanted to do it, how he wanted to do it. And he chose to do that with his time. But Father Time catches everybody.
Yep.
What goes around comes back around.
Yep.
Okay.
So now that you older, health not as good, life didn't pan out.
How you wanted it?
Listen, now it's like, man, if I only had kids to come around, spend, you know,
Right.
to be a family with.
Right.
I want to be a family man.
Right.
Man. I want that love.
I want the love. Yeah.
I want that attention.
Yeah.
I like the family I see in movies.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't got that now. You don't got that now. Now I feel obligated as the oldest one to keep a relationship with them, and I still try to do as much as I can. I love them.
Right.
I love them.
Right.
Do I always like them? No.
Right.
Like even now, do I feel like, yo, this stuff that you can be doing? I just talked to him the other day. I said, Dad, oh, you won't bring your grandkids to see me, and you trying to keep them from me. I said, that could be a fact. That could be true. But that's something that you cannot help. There's nothing you can do about that. But how many times do you call me when your Amazon stick is messing up? It's a fact, bro. How many times do you call me when you got questions about Facebook? My kid's in the other room.
So you should be asking to say hi.
Son, yo, I ain't even call to talk to
on
you.
the phone. Yeah.
Yo, FaceTime. How's school?
Right.
Merry Christmas.
Right.
Happy birthday.
Right.
But you can reach out to me when you're Listen.
Yeah.
Like even today, like right now,
Yeah,
we
you
wasn't on
still-
camera,
you
I
just-
get tight.
Yeah, you just don't get it. Yeah, bro, trust me, bro, you.
You know what I'm saying? It's a fact.
You are, bro.
So to bring it back to your point, like, yo, never in a million years should you ever feel some kind of way about another man's freedom, because when the tables turn, bro,
Yeah.
and you need them, they gonna be there, because when they needed you,
Right.
you was there.
Right.
Karma, man. Karma
Yeah.
come back around,
Yeah.
G. That's a fact.
Yeah. It's.
That's why I had my daughter. Cause I'm gonna build her a big house and she gonna give me a wing. Don't you put me in a home.
Yo, one of my favorite songs, because I don't really listen to, certain type of music, right? So one of my favorite songs, I don't even know who it is. I think it's like Princess, Queen, something, right? She got a record out called Karma. Queen, something. They won't know, right?
Yeah.
So, and if you know, please put it in the comments, right? But I love that record. Because she's talking to a dude, like, what goes around comes back around. I'm not going to sing the lyrics.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But, yo, it's cold. And I was sitting in the parking lot with my wife. And she was like, yo, why you like this record so much? And I was like, yo, because I'm grateful that I paid the price for the karma that I did through. It didn't come at me the way that I put it out.
Right.
I was wild. I was reckless.
Right.
I was reckless, right? And my karma didn't come back on me the way I thought it would. I thought it would come back the same way I did women. My wife or somebody I love would do me the same way.
Right.
My karma came back in trials and tribulations in marriage.
Okay.
Staying faithful when I didn't have to.
Yeah.
Right? Like 19 years old, like I'm 19,
Yeah.
20, 21. Like that was my karma. Being with somebody I didn't want to be with at that time because of trial.
Right. I understand.
And that's why when I was on here, I said love is not a number one factor for people staying together, because it's not.
Right.
It's not, especially when you newly married. More times than not, you'll find yourself not loving than loving.
Right.
Not feeling love than feeling love.
Right.
Yeah, I just celebrated 3 years of marriage, and we still go through it. We hanging on tight. We
I
fighting.
gotta hang.
We hanging. And I see the light. But man, oh man, she'll tell me I don't like you. Like, God damn, I might deserve that. I might not. I don't know. I think my karma came in the form of anxiety, because after I did whether women wrong or just didn't do right in life, anxiety started kicking my ass. Like I almost had a panic attack yesterday driving to Lancaster. So, but like how you say too, I'm kind of grateful too, because some of the things I've done I'm blessed, man. I'm truly blessed, man. So it could have came back worse.
I told my sister the other day, like I have all these thoughts going in my head. I'm sorry.
You good? No,
But I feel like people might need to hear
time.
it, right?
Yeah.
I told my sister the other day, I ain't gonna say which one, but I'm like, yo, you keep ending up in this situation because you're looking for people that you shouldn't be looking for, right? I love the Bible, right? And I love what it says. The Bible says, I slipped on this the other day because I couldn't pronounce the word, but it's the woman of Proverbs, right? And it says that who can find her? And if you could find her, her value is above rubies, so who could afford her? And it gives you all these lists, all these describing factors of what this woman is. She's wise, she's smart, she's uplifting, she's a helpmeet, she's caretaking, she's loving, she's the better part of you. All of this.
A woman of virtue.
All of that, right? A prophetess, well, I keep stumbling on it, right? But I know it. But then when it says men, what women should look at for men, all it says, the only description it says, a faithful man who can find. That's all it says. Because those are rare. Those are jewels.
Yeah.
It's not a problem with getting a woman to be faithful.
Oh yeah, not at all. Yeah,
It's the other qualities you're looking for.
Yeah.
That's why it's a million qualities under the Proverbs woman. But when it describes the man that a woman, a faithful man who can find. So the problem, I told my sister, I said, yo, don't you think that in 2021 or 2020 that you're going to start changing the men you're looking for? Because the guys you like, the guys that your heart is beating after, they keep giving you the same runaround. They going back and forth to jail. They ain't taking care of their kids. Leaving you with all the bills. You got sex. You know what I mean? Like you got all these kids you have to drop money on for Christmas with no help. Like you better get with one of these squares. Like 2020, get one of these squares.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
One of these squares.
I don't care if he's fat.
Yeah.
I don't care if he got
You can dress
glasses.
him up as a thug.
Listen.
Yeah.
Listen, you can always give somebody a quality that you want, for the most part. If it's a tangible quality, you can most likely teach that person. It's the stuff that you can't teach a person that you want them to have already.
Right.
You got to do better. If you can find somebody that love you for you and willing to help you in life, why should it matter so much about the outside appearance? You need help.
Yeah.
You're doing your kids a disjustice by raising them by yourself.
Yeah.
You can't give them everything that they need. You can't. You got way too many.
Sorry.
That's a fact. I'm hard like that.
Nah, I feel you though. I feel you.
But when it's one of you,
Too many.
bro, listen. When it's one of you and it's more than two of them,
Yeah.
how can you give each of them the time that they deserve equally?
Right.
Somebody's going to lack. And then don't have more than three.
Right, because then it's stuff that you need to be learning to teach. It's going to be hard.
Listen.
It's hard. Yeah.
And don't be a woman with boys.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I feel like, yo, that's like a big thing to me. Like, women be looking for this Trey Songz to come through and save them. When Trey Songz understand, I got the world at my fingertips. Why would I lock myself down to you?
Right.
I can go to Double D's anywhere I want and pull 2 or 3 of them right now. Like, why would I lock myself down to you? They keep making the same mistakes, man, and then wonder why their heart keep getting broke, why they keep messing with these F-boys, so to say, right?
Yeah.
You gotta make some changes, man. And sometimes it's all about your perspective on who you want to love. We don't know who we want to love. We don't even get to decide who we want to love. We don't even get to decide that.
That's rough.
That's a fact.
Bro.
You can hang. Listen, you can not like somebody, but if you hang around them long enough, you're gonna have love for them.
Yeah.
Because love starts out of love is based on relationship. So me and you can become friends, and there's been plenty friends that I had in the past. Well, I was like, well, I don't like her. No, absolutely not. But the more we hung around,
Right.
the more I got to know her. Besides what she looked like or what I was attracted to, and I'm not even saying she was ugly, just not my speed.
Yeah, that's not, yeah.
But the more I got to know her, I was like, oh, I'm attracted.
Yeah.
Because now I know her,
Yeah.
bro, and it's a legitimate care.
Yeah.
It's not physical.
Yeah.
She ain't trying to take nothing from
Yeah.
me. She's trying to add.
Yeah.
That's love. That's genuine love. I don't want nothing from her. I don't want her body. So my love for her grew into something genuine because it wasn't based out of lust.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand.
Whether it blossomed into anything, if I pursued it or not, love began to grow out of relationship. So we don't even get to choose, bro. Our hearts want what they want, and sometimes what our heart want ain't what.
Right. That's good for you.
Facts.
Yeah.
The Bible says your heart is deceitfully wicked. And women chase out, follow your heart. No, that's the worst thing you can do.
Yeah.
You trying to find something using the most wicked piece in your body. Your heart.
And vulnerable.
And vulnerable. So how you going to find true love using the most vile, vulnerable thing in your body?
Yeah, because men are wise. They'll play on that real quick. They play on that real quick because they know.
We get taught it.
Yeah.
We're taught it in movies.
Yeah.
We taught it in our music. We taught it in society.
Yeah.
And now, where society is at now, women, they're okay with that.
Yeah. That's the crazy part. Like, that's crazy to me. And you'll see messages, and you'll see the persona of one thing, but that's not the truth.
I think I got married at the right time.
It's not
The
real.
game done changed.
Yeah, it's not real. So that to me,
I got out.
you'll
perfect
see
timing.
one thing of what you really want, but then you don't see them moving towards that type of. And that's why I commend the rarity. You see what I'm saying? The rarity, like. I'm not alone. I'm not like a leprechaun. Like when you see, I bet you a guy don't got these 5 traits, and you looking at him like that's the simplest. But they're like it's a rare, like that's easy. I mean, coming from me, like when they be like, no guy got all 5 of these, like I must be a leprechaun then.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I know some leprechauns. So if that or what they call unicorns, like that should be. What looks so hard is like.
But you know what's crazy? To piggyback off literally what you just said. Now, I grew up 2-parent household. My dad was a good ass father, provider, and husband. My dad's the man. But outside of him, you go on a scale. I learned more from older men or men my age how to dog women than I did to love them and treat them right. The men were always trying to get over on women. Even outside of music and entertainment, like you meet men like homies, like whether it's and like me, I'm a well-traveled individual, so this is universal.
Right.
Dudes trying to get them for money, or dudes like trying to just get with them to sleep with them, and so it's like I had a good influence on my dad to be a good husband and be a relationship person, but then when majority of the time I'm around dudes teaching you how to dog them,
Right. So
it's fucked up.
So can you be that way and still have integrity?
Shit, now I got a daughter.
What's
no.
integrity? What's integrity? What would you define integrity?
Integrity is
How you act when no one's looking?
and just being truthful to who you are.
But then, if you're using that as an example, absolutely, because if that's who you are, you're being true to it. So if that's your definition of integrity,
right? I mean, but are they coming out and saying this is how I am? and this is what I'm going to do to you.
That's a different story.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I just wondering, like I feel I'm cool if you're going to be about it that way, like, because I would feel like your integrity wouldn't be in check unless you're honest to come out and say, this is what I do.
Yeah, the game changed as we got older.
You accept
Look,
it.
because women are like, just be honest. What do you want? I just want to fuck. What the fuck?
And I'm gonna drive your car, and I'm going like, so I don't know, man. Yeah, I'm good though.
I got out at the right time, man.
Cause it's rough, man. And I say it. So some people might not be a hard challenge. It's not a hard challenge, but it's a daily thing, just to be faithful and faithful in all things. Like, cause if you look at it now, it's like every woman is vulnerable, looking for something that you can manipulate and play with.
Hell yeah!
It looks like the ratio is.
Inner city dudes were taught how to have a mouthpiece at a young age.
That's a fact.
How to have that mouthpiece.
That's a fact.
Because I laugh at the fact that when I see it, and that's just me. Don't I always call myself weird. But when I hear music, when I'm like, dude's a whole married man, but you sitting here teaching about being something, but then you go home and be something else.
T.I., yo, listen.
Oh, you about to go up. My wife is scoring upstairs.
My homie T.I., I love him.
I just said T.I.
My homie T.I. Harris.
Right.
He's on Facebook. That's my man. I love him. That's my homie. I grew up with him.
Okay.
Huge T.I. fan. I say T.I.'s a sucker. He's a bona fide sucker. That's a fact.
Right.
No, that's a fact.
Yeah.
He's a bona fide sucker, right?
Right.
What is his music about?
Being a player, like
Being a player. Moving drunk, like now.
Yeah.
We're not talking about I'm serious T.I.
Right.
when he was trying to get out.
Right.
Right now.
Right.
What did he just build within the last 2 or 3 years? Now that he's successful, he builds a trap museum.
Right.
Glorifying the trap.
Right.
What are we talking about? What are we talking about? How are you going to speak anything about prison reform
Right.
and you just build a trap
Yeah, you still putting
museum?
it out there.
Not degrading the trap. Honoring the trap lifestyle.
Jay-Z would never say that.
So
I don't know about that.
Right.
Jay-Z put out 444. His biggest artist is Casanova. What is he talking about? His major artist right now is Casanova. What is he talking about?
So
These niggas is sucking. Like,
right. So
bonafide.
then that's when it brings me to how confused are we?
But it's still entertainment. I still look at music as entertainment.
That's cool for you. But what about my young boy?
Right.
What about my little cousin?
That's our job to teach them this is entertainment. This ain't real
But
life.
how can you? They're going to have a bigger influence than you
Because they accessible 24 hours.
You're going to look like the sucker. You're going to look like the square.
Absolutely.
Why would I want to be like you?
When Jay is telling me,
Why would I want to be married and faithful?
and T.I. is telling me,
Not enjoying the club,
Come on,
popping
man.
bottles, not doing.
I'm trying to get where they at. I ain't trying to get what you at. I'm sorry. Like, no disrespect to you.
Yeah.
I would tell them enjoy the music, but just understand that
People
ain't
don't
real
know
life.
how.
Grown men can't decipher the
can't,
difference.
yeah.
So how is babies going to decipher
And
the difference?
that's where I leave us at being confused, because you'll be stuck.
See, internet's a great tool. He's talking all this shit. Look, he's with his wife when he's not talking that.
But they don't know how to say, like, when they hear it, they be like, what? Like, it's not real.
It's a
See, that's
fact.
why they should have never stopped making Smack DVDs, because you had Max B exposing the shit out of Jim Jones. He's not a blood.
Not even just that. Like how many of our pill popping, lean sipping rappers went to college, got degrees?
Yeah,
Yeah. All them dudes is educated.
they are.
Even Lil Wayne went to college.
That makes,
for a quick
that
minute.
makes you a master manipulator.
That's a fact.
But then, because I look at movies too, like, so we mad at Denzel played my man on Training
Nah, I
Day?
think it's different.
No, it's all entertainment.
You think so? You think so? Check this out.
That's how I look at
No,
it.
check this out. So, your boy is a gangster, right? 21 Savage. Gangster. right?
Yeah.
He's gangster, right? He got bodies. Remember, he's from Atlanta.
Yeah.
He get caught up and almost get deported
to Great Britain. With tea and crumpets.
That's not even, listen, that's
so
not
they
even,
got a hood there.
No, don't get me wrong. Listen what I'm saying. That's not even the big part. The big part is this. If he would have had an inkling on his rap sheet, they wouldn't have been able to save him.
Oh, this is true.
They wouldn't have been able to save him.
Yeah,
so if you were a monster in your society the way you say you was,
I got deported like a mother.
Yeah.
nobody would have been able to save you. You'd have went home.
And never been able to come back.
And never been able to come back.
Like Shine could probably never come back to the U.S.
Bro, these are facts. But listen to his music.
But I think that's our job to tell these kids that while they're young before it's
Bro, he
too late.
says one thing about the Jewish community. I got Jewish money. And they nailed him to the wall. They made him apologize.
I think we all want Jewish money.
It was a record label owned by a Jewish man that put the song out. They almost canceled him because he said, I got Jewish money. They made him apologize, made LeBron apologize. But he can rap about killing black men and dogging black women out for a whole album. He says one line about having Jewish money. They try to cancel him.
Yeah.
Make him apologize. When have he ever apologized?
Because the exec, this is what they want.
But it's on us too to recognize that we're bait.
It's holding us at a lower standard. Don't you know they did a test back in the 90s at Duke? The lowest graduating percentage in Duke was blacks. You know that? You know why that is? Because of what do they call it? What do they call it when the company got to hire a black person?
A trying to diversify the.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
What they're doing is they're pulling people that wouldn't necessarily
It's not equal
qualify.
opportunity. Is it? No. It's. I know what you're talking
Yeah, I know
about.
what you mean.
Yeah.
They wouldn't qualify, but they put them in there.
They put them in there because they're trying to meet a quota.
Yeah.
But then
We gotta have you.
But then statistics show that we are the least graduating group at the school, and then that makes us look bad as a whole. It's set up against us. You can't take the average person from the hood and send him to Duke and then expect him to achieve
Right. Excel. Yeah.
just because he had the opportunity.
Yeah, that's gonna eat me up. I know it's equal opportunity, but there's a term for
I know,
that.
and I just thought I
That's
just
about
said
to
it.
eat
I
me
can't
up.
think about it.
But we coming up on time, so I'll yeah.
All right, so what are we leaving in 2019?
But am I leaving? I already started. I ain't leaving nothing. I'm already in 2020.
I feel you.
I'm already rolling. I'm just still working on me and just growing. I'm doing more of and less of things. You know, I already cut out TV, like in more region. I'm rolling.
Instead of me saying I was gonna give up meat, I kind of already started. Yeah. Christmas I fucking cheated, but I had almost a week no meat. But Christmas I'm like But that's my goal. I don't eat seafood, but
Pescatarian.
yeah. But I'm still fuck with eggs, so I don't know. I'm just not fucking with land animals. Like,
Yeah,
it's hard to give up dairy too, man. I like cheese. Cheese will make a
Listen, don't put yourself in a box by saying what you are.
right
Because every once in a while you might want a burger.
Yeah.
Every once in a while you might want mac and cheese.
Chicken, yeah. I made some
Pizza.
cauliflower mac and cheese
You know what I'm
last
saying?
night.
So all that trying to just be like, yo, this is what I'm doing.
yeah.
This is the decisions that I'm making.
Yeah, this is where I'm working.
And
what
it,
I'm cutting
it
out.
may not fit your box.
Right.
It may not fit your box. What I want for 2020 more than anything is for us to start thinking for ourselves.
Yeah, man.
Think for yourselves. Pick up a book. Read.
Yeah.
Don't just go with the grain because everybody's going that way.
Yeah.
Purposely look to go against the grain until you're proven wrong.
Yeah.
Because more than likely, you're going to be on the good side.
You know,
Yeah.
I have somebody.
There ain't a lot of people on that side.
It's not.
There's not a lot of people walking that way.
That's not.
Everyone walk, and social media makes everyone follow the crowd. It's like
They use the word sheep for a reason.
Yo, I have older people in my family who bite the bait on every article on Facebook, and like you got to tell them like, "Oh,
yeah, you can't.
that's not real news. Let that go."
Yeah,
And I expect more from you.
But that's the point. If you see it and it stick with you and it's in your subconscious, that is going to get you. That's the whole point of it. But yeah, we appreciate you, and we'll see you
We had a good
next
year.
year. Yeah. And we appreciate every time you come.
I be all over the place because I be having
Don't worry about that.
It's good. It's good. Trust me.
You're all over the place is a cool all over the place.
Yeah.
It ain't like we gotta fucking.
Yeah. Plus, I grow from it, so
Yeah.
that's why I like it. But yeah, we
Happy New Year.
peace out.
Happy
You know what I mean?
holiday.